Yells.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is my review for Batman Arkham Origins, and I wanted to finish the game, before giving my final verdict on the game. And coming into this game, new developer, like when everyone heard that it's not Rocksteady making the game, people were like kind of freaking out and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people were worried if the game's gonna live up to the hype and all that shit. And by the way, what are Rocksteady working on? I swear Arkham City, it's been like 2 years or so since it came out, and we didn't even know what Rocksteady are working on. And we all know Rocksteady are like one of the best developers out there, and we don't have a clue what they're working on. I presume it's something to do with next gen, but yeah, Arkham. I was gonna say Arkham Asylum, Arkham Origins. The game was always going to be compared to Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, obviously, because it's a Batman game. And to be honest, it's just more of the same thing. It's just more of the same thing. The combat system is the same. They got a few new gadgets here and there. They got like some gun. What's it called? A glue gun or something. I forgot what it's called. I just played it yesterday night. They got like a glue gun, and they've got like some concussion detonator. It's like some sort of ball that you throw and then it concusses everyone within a certain area. That's pretty cool. So yeah, they've got like a few new gadgets here and there. Like I said, the main part of the Batman games is the combat system. And the combat system is, like I said, it's pretty much the same thing as the past Batman games. Fluid. That's what makes these Batman games so amazing. The combat system, which is amazing. They haven't changed that, and that's a good thing, because I don't think they should have touched that combat system, because like I said, it's pretty perfect and it's just an amazing combat system. It's up there with like the God of War kind of, God of War's got like one of the most amazing combat systems, and the Batman games, it rivals it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the combat system is brilliant. Yeah, I don't really want to get into the story too much, because I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything. But yeah, like the story is really cool. Like I said, I don't want to get into it, but the story is pretty cool as well. I would say the game is not up to the standards of a Rocksteady Batman game. I don't think the game's as good as Arkham City. Definitely not as good as Arkham City. Whether it's good as Arkham Asylum, I mean, it's hard to tell, because I played Arkham Asylum, what is it, like 4 years ago now? 3-4 years ago. So it's really hard for me to really compare it that much. But if I was to rank all the Batman games in order, I'd say Arkham City is the best one, then Arkham Asylum, and then Arkham Origins. Now obviously that's not to say Arkham Origins is a bad game. It's a great game. Like I said, it's more of the same thing. Great combat system, great graphics. The villains are great as well. We don't see all the villains, obviously. We see a few new villains. We see Deathstroke. We see a bit. We see quite a bit of Bane as well. Bane's a bit of a beast, by the way. The Joker's obviously the Joker. You can never get tired of the Joker. Played by none other than Troy Baker, the same guy that played Joe from The Last of Us, and the same guy that played Booker DeWitt from Bioshock Infinite. And yeah, he's beast as the Joker. So the Joker's brilliant as usual. But there are a few bad things about the game. Like I said, you can tell that the game's not on the same level as a Rocksteady Batman game. The combat system, like I said, obviously the combat system is pretty much the same, but it seems like it's a bit glitched, or it's a bit off, if you know what I mean. Like, you have to press triangle sometimes to counter the enemies. Sometimes you'll be pressing triangle and it doesn't register. I mean, it's weird. Sometimes I think it's me getting my timing wrong, but other times I'm pretty sure that I'm countering and it's not countering in the game. So there's a few glitches here and there in the combat system, but obviously the combat system's still amazing. But it's just not, it doesn't feel as polished as the previous Batman games. Other bits are like the grappling hook, like when you press R1 to grapple onto, you know, the rooftop of a building. That's a bit. It's not as polished as well, because I remember there was one moment in the game where I was going across the bridge, and I was meant to like grapple the top of the bridge, and I was trying to press R1, but it just wasn't working, and you know, the icon to press R1 wasn't even showing up. So it was clear to me that it was glitched, and I was stuck there for like almost half an hour figuring out what to do. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I restarted the game, it was working, and I had to like completely restart the whole game. Like before, I was just pressing start and restarting the checkpoint, but I had to like restart the whole game and then come back to that section of the game, and then, you know, lo and behold, the R1 indicator was there to grapple at the top of the bridge. So yeah, it's got a few niggling problems, the game, you know, it's got a few glitches here and there, but overall it's a great game. It's more of the same. It's just more Batman, you know, great villains again. One thing I will say is, well, like I said, it's not as polished as a Rocksteady Batman game, but I wasn't too. I mean, when it comes to Batman standards, the ending is not on point. The ending's not on point when it comes to Batman standards, and obviously I ain't gonna spoil it for any of y'all. But if you know Batman, if you know what Batman stands for, then you know that ending is not up to Batman standards. But that being said, the game is great. Great boss fights. The Bane boss fight's a beast. Yeah, we've got some new villains here and there. Great boss fights. It's great. Gotham City, I'm not sure if it's as exciting as the past Batman games. In Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, the open world is amazing, but in Arkham Origins, Gotham doesn't seem that exciting. I don't know what it is, but it just does not seem on the same level as the past Batman games. But like I said, that being said, the game's great. You know, if this was like the first Batman game that came out, forget Arkham Asylum and Arkham Origins, Arkham City, sorry. It just looks like the first Batman game of this generation. This game would have been hyped up to the max. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, because it's being compared to Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, the game obviously is not as good as the two previous games. But like I said, it's still a beast of a game. If you like the Arkham Asylum, if you like the Arkham City, you're going to like this game. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's a great game, and it's just more Batman. Great combat system, great boss fights, you know, a few glitches here and there, but overall the game's great. Definitely worth a buy. If you're on the fence, the game's definitely worth a buy. Great game, you know, had great fun with it. It took me like 7-8 days to beat the single player, and there's so much shit to do in the game. There's so much stuff, like so much side missions, so much combat challenges, you know, lots of shit to the game. Yeah, and if there's any of you wondering about the multiplayer, now the multiplayer, I don't really want to get too detailed, but it's basically a 2v2, no, sorry, it's a 2v3 versus 3 game mode. There's only like one game mode, I think. I played one game, it was pretty decent, nothing too exciting. The problem I had is, after that one game I played, a few people left the lobby, and the game does not start until the whole lobby is full up. So we were like waiting there for like 10-15 minutes, and the game was just not starting because we didn't have enough players. So I just quit, did not want to play anymore of the multiplayer. The multiplayer is pretty boring, it's nothing special. If you're buying the game for the multiplayer, then you're an idiot. If you're buying the game for the single player is great. Great game, you know, definitely worth a buy. And I'll recommend it to all of y'all to play it before the PS4 drops, which is what, 1.5 weeks now in the US, 3.5 weeks now in Europe. So I can't wait. I cannot wait. So yeah, that's it from me. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, you know, subscribe for more. Let me know what you think down below. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter, links in the description. And that's it for me, y'all.